Yo, what's up, everyone?
What
Sorry
is
for the late
up?
start. Yes, I got my lovely guest here to your spirit's hand, and especially when it comes to the topics of, I should say, about like personal empowerment and self care and wellness too, when it comes to with our energetic body too. But before we start, if you guys could hear us and see us, if for those who are watching this live and for those who are watching the replay, feel free to let us know, especially for those who are watching the replay too. So yeah, when it comes to with this topic and especially connect with you guys again too. So I'm really excited to really just have this discussion, especially with the having like a support host too when it comes to with your spirit hand. And since I know you, and like if you want to introduce yourself, you're more than welcome to take the mic, snatch it, like how most wrestlers do in the Monday Night Raw or SmackDown or so in the promos. So you got the floor.
Okay, so welcome everybody. You may have seen Jay and I collabing before. We have some interesting topics, and we have some even more interesting topics in our personal life that we don't know if y'all are ready for on the up in here. But we just keep it all the way real.
Right.
I am, you know, representing my channel and my Instagram, which is called Yourspiritshand. And one of my favorite things to do is to collab with Jay. He's one of my dearest friends.
Mm,
He's like family to me and my family.
right.
So when it comes to my channel, basically, like I've said, if you haven't seen the other videos, go check those out. I think you'll have a good time.
Mhm.
But for those of you who haven't seen me yet, I'm just all about, being real, um, love, spreading love, empowerment for everybody, especially when it comes to the Black community. And that might not sit well with some people, and that's all right. But I am a mixed woman. I am of African descent, and my wonderful friend Jay is a very lovely Black man. He's a
Hey,
amazing man, and so for us to be able to represent Black culture is a powerful thing. And it's not to put anybody else down, but it's sacred and powerful to be to African Americans with the freedom to live how we want and express ourselves. And when it comes to my channel, I share tips and tricks with hoodoo, spirituality, and things like that. And in the near future here, I will be offering products for you to use so that you can do hoodoo at home and just give you like a kind of like a backstory on what that is and things like that I'm getting into with my channel. And yeah, so that's an earful, but we're glad to have you all.
nothing wrong with the earful. You get a lot of information. So when it comes to with introducing myself, you guys know me already. For those who are subscribed to this channel too, but for those who are new to this channel, my name is James Harris. Some of you guys know me as Herc213 on PlayStation or on Instagram. Well, not on Instagram, but Herc420. But basically, kind of like the same, kind of like similar name too. So when it comes to with that, basically to summarize me in 2 words, I'm a nerdy hippie and a certified one, just because I have a background in mindfulness coaching and shamanic coaching, shamanic arts, coaching too, and sound healing and with yoga too, and content creating as well because I was in film and media entertainment kind of topics too back in college, my college days too. So basically, I'm a very universal and very inclusive person. I'm very accepting of everyone, but I'm also, loving of my roots too as a Black man in America, American Black man especially. I appreciate my sisters like, Cecily and my family. And just not to talk about race and all that too. I just really want to introduce myself. But basically, when it comes to with this channel, if you guys love having open discussions about, personal empowerment or entertainment, it could be music, creativity, relationships, or even self-care and so much more, you're in the right place at the right time. And for those who don't like it, for those who love to sniff seats or love to talk shit, and I'm also going to go there too. And disclaimer, and I'm just gonna put the disclaimer out there. We're gonna be really just diving deep into like adult topics, especially when it comes to with with self-care and spirituality and wellness and you know and so much more. So I'm just really putting that disclaimer out there, especially for those who are working out there, for those who are under 18. I suggest you not to watch this until you just feel comfortable, or if it's the right kind of time to watch it too. So just putting it out there for anyone who's just watching this or have this kind of like weird agenda. Because if you do, to all the moderators out there who are just keeping the chat safe, we're gonna kick you out like this. Go fuck out of here! Go fuck! Or hold up, I got something else. We'll cuss you out like this.
Shut your bitch ass up.
So just fair warning, and we're not trying to be mean, but we just want to, stand up for ourselves because as content creators, sometimes people will talk reckless and we will talk sideways, and especially when it comes to with certain things that people don't agree about. So just putting it out there, saying we're not soft, basically. And
Right.
yeah, and especially when it comes to with this topic. Whew, this is gonna be fun because when it comes to energy, and I'm gonna go deep into my Reiki and yoga background too,
Mm-hmm.
and shamanic background, of course, too. And it's just like with our energy and how it all affects us, not just within our own bodies, with our muscles and with our skeletal bodies, and everything else, and just like everything that's around us is energy too, from the things we see to the same things that we listen to, that we touch, especially with our senses, and especially to what we feel too within our hearts, with our thoughts, and so much more too. It's just everything is energy. And
Right.
we probably heard this before, and probably like for those who are certified and specialized in certain energy, practices too, not besides Reiki, of course too, or even other, spirituality, modalities or even practices too. So it's kind of like when it comes to with that, just, when it comes to with the energy, everything around us is energy. And what's up, Gigi? Good to see you. I haven't seen you in a minute too. So she's an old friend of mine too.
Hi
So
there.
hey, Gigi, nice, good to see you again. I haven't seen you in so long. So I hope you're doing well. I hope you're having an awesome day, and I hope you're having a productive day too. So shout out to you, Gigi.
And
And
nice to meet you.
yes, yes, indeed. So yes, shout out to Gigi and to everyone who is watching this too. And Cecily, you're more than welcome. See if you want to say anything about energy when it comes to just you know how it feels to you when it comes to like dealing with certain things and everything else. And just like to start it off too, and it's just like when it comes to you with energy, it really has a really powerful impact within our overall well-being. It could be from just like from how someone talks to us to someone how they expresses themselves too, and especially when it comes to with like with life in general. And just I'm gonna see if I could put this up in the screen too. Hold on here.
Yeah.
Oh, there we
And
go.
I'm looking, if you're wondering why I keep looking down, I'm just shuffling my African Goddess Rising Oracle deck. Don't think I'm just down here twiddling my thumbs. So yeah.
Yeah, it's all good.
Um I am in my Jay always likes to say my office is nice. It's just my room, guys. It's just my
It is
altar set
nice
up.
though. I'm not gonna lie. It is nice.
My altar set up behind me on top of my dresser, and then you can probably see my TV in the corner. But yeah, but I always appreciate it when you tell me that. But
Oh
anyways,
yeah, cool.
when it comes to energy exchange, it's really interesting. I just had a conversation with my manager because at work I have a lot of just lessons that I've learned there dealing with certain people, and sometimes in life you realize that you're put into these situations, uh, and your energy really reveals other people's true colors. And if you look at this slide that Jay has up here, you can see different colors right here too. So it's funny that it came to mind, but you can see the colors, and we know our auras have colors and the chakras have their colors and everything. But it really shows people's true
Mhm.
colors. So that saying really makes more sense, right?
Yes, it
Um,
does.
yeah. So, I mean, even in situations when you're at work, I know a lot of people have issues. Some people don't. If you don't, I'm happy for you. But sometimes we run into difficult people, and sometimes they're difficult to show us something about ourselves. Their energy we might butt heads, and that's to break a habit in us, or maybe we're being used energetically as a vessel to break a habit or issue in that person without even willing to or knowingly doing it. We're being used to do that.
Hmm.
Energy is transmitting through us for a purpose, and that's something that energy is something that I think we've all worked with, even from childhood on up. We have energy. We can, working with, just as a child around other kids at the playground or something. We're having an energy exchange through the screen right now. To you viewing Jay and I, we're having an energy exchange, and we're not even in person. So
Hmm.
the way that the energetic body, like right here, it says energetic body that plays an important part of our overall health.
Yeah,
It
and in so many
does,
ways too.
especially when it comes to your spiritual life versus your mundane life. If if we're energetically and spiritually out of whack, off balance in this physical world, we're having ailments and we're having problems. And some people don't realize that. They don't think that way, or they can't realize it, and that might be part of the reason with your energy. You're not open to seeing the bigger picture, and your
Mm.
energy's often blocked so that you can't. So you really need to get balanced so that everything starts working out better in for you in your regular physical life.
And that's a good thing that you mentioned, just by balancing your own energy, and especially with our subtle body. And for those who don't know what that actually means, and I made this little presentation for people to really just learn from in a fun way. And it's just like our energetic body that really just plays an important part for our overall health, for our emotions, for our physical bodies, especially, and especially within our for our mental health too, with our thoughts and everything else. And sometimes too, when our energy is unbalanced or too active or underactive too, it's just like it really can just throw things out of whack sometimes too, especially if it's underactive or even overactive too. And
Right.
sometimes too with certain circumstances when it comes to with dealing with life, life throws us so many curves and twists and craziness too at the same time, to where it just really makes our energy kind of like, oh, sometimes we don't want to just deal with people or deal with certain circumstances or
Mm-hmm.
even just like all the above. And I don't blame you for feeling that way, because I am like earlier in the stage of my life too. I didn't want to deal with certain people, a lot of people, and didn't want to do much of anything either. But when it comes to just like doing that really powerful healing, especially, as a, healthy adult, whether you're a man or a woman, just to really just doing that really powerful work to really just balancing your own energetic body too, especially working on certain ones too. And I'm about to show you to the next one too. And just like when it comes to with our chakras, and you probably heard this term before too in certain spiritual spaces or social media too. And just like in Sanskrit too, in East Asian cultures too, especially in Indian culture as well, it's just like it's like the wheels of spinning energies. So it's kind of like there's placements too within our chakras as well, especially within our bodies too, our human bodies, our flesh and blood bodies too, mortal bodies, however you want to call it too. And it just really it just like again like this energetic body, it plays a really powerful role for our overall health, and each one has a specific purpose. So when it comes to with our chakras, and especially how we can really just balance those our chakras too, or I should say energy centers too, if you want to just put it into the simplest terms too. And so when it comes to with that, and there's a really fun fact about the chakras too. I know there's probably there's 7 chakras that's been taught in yoga teacher trainings and everything else, which is totally cool, and especially in energy practices like Reiki or Tantra too, and other forms of energy healing too. But from my research and really just digging deep about this particular topic when it comes to chakras, there's actually 9 of them that really play an important one, and 2 more that anchor our energy too, from connection to our universe, to God, and all the way down to our feet towards the earth too. So it's kind of like there's 7
Mm.
chakras, and there's 2 more that kind of, it's like an anchor. It kind of aligns too when it comes to with that. And
Wow.
just like, yeah, it's just really cool stuff. And and if you guys ever like want to just have this kind of like presentation too, you guys could check out my Patreon for free, which is totally cool. I have some goodies too, not just presentations, but also like with meditations that you really just do when it comes to with energy healing, and so much more too. So got some cool presents for you guys too on my Patreon page. I've been working on for the last few months. If you guys want to check it out, no pressure. But getting back to the topic of the chakras, and just like when it comes to with that, and from my teacher trainings and just doing a lot of research, and just really giving credit to where there's credit's due when it comes to from my teachers and the people that I've learned from too. It's just like, I know there's 88,000 chakras, which is crazy. It's like, oh, 88,000, like, damn, how can you remember all of them? But like when it comes to just really breaking it down too, especially with the 7 chakras, but also with the other 2 that really just align our own energy, our connection from the earth to source, and then back to the earth, back and forth too. So it's kind of like with 9 of them as well when it comes to just with that, those kind of like chakras, and especially when it comes to what the main purpose of those chakras too, it really has like a specific purpose for our overall health, not just physically, but also emotionally and mentally and energetically as well. So
Wow.
that was a mouthful too. I know. I'll
That's
probably say the same
wonderful.
thing. Yeah, it's really cool. I've been doing a lot of research about it too when it comes to chakras. And it's just really fun, and really just, again, giving credit where credit's due to my teachers and the books I've read too. So it's kind of like, shout out to them for, putting this information out there for people to learn from, especially if they want to just heal in their own way too, and truly just go on that deep healing journey if they're going through certain things in life, and especially if they're men or women, however you want to identify yourself too, because we're all inclusive. Everybody's welcome in this channel too. So whether you're an alien, if you're a saint, if you're black, if you're white, if you're a man, if you're a woman, you guys are always welcome here. Just when it comes to with us content creators, put some respect on our names. So
Mm-hmm.
saying like Mike Tyson style too, but not trying to scare you off, but getting back to the topic of that too. And let me see if I could. And so like I'll just share the first one too with the Earth Star chakra for those who probably don't know about it too, or Sanskrit for Vashandra. I don't know how to pronounce it, but basically it's probably means the same thing when it comes to the Earth Star chakra. It's located near our feet too. So when it comes to with that, the main purpose of this one is to really connect to our ancestors towards the earth too. So
Wow.
when you see people like walk on the beach, or even when you get a chance to like walk at the beach, barefoot or in the forest too, you really are doing you're doing like something that's really helping to ground your energy basically too, especially connecting with your ancestors, like with our people back in Africa, walking barefoot, that was a beautiful way for them to just, connect with the earth, and to really just, show appreciation to that, and other cultures too around the globe as well, how they can really just, ground their energy, and to really just walk barefoot in a place where they can really feel safe, and can really just, support their overall health, not just physically, but energetically and mentally and emotionally as well too. Even with people that, they just care about. It could be with family, it could be friends, it could be with their intimate partners or co-workers, however you want to call it too, in certain cultures. So when it comes to with that, and just really, doing your best to really just being grounded is the main purpose of the, Earth Star chakra. Just really taking the time for ourselves to really just, calm things down, to really just ground ourselves, especially when it comes to just, if you feel kind of unbalanced, and you feel like you need to just ground your energy. And if you ever get a chance to do so when you're at the beach, or if you're just like forest bathing too, that's a really popular thing, practice too in certain Eastern cultures, especially in Japan as well. To really just take your shoes off, take your socks off, and to really just, walk barefoot in the forest or at the beach, and just really, experiencing that, the energy in the water, just, ground your energy too. And sometimes too, like some key things to look out for when it comes to if you feel kind of unbalanced too. If your Earth Star chakra is overactive, you feel kind of burnt out, especially if you're walking a lot, if you're doing too much stuff or like around the house or at work, or even just with that too. Just something to keep in mind as well. Even if it's like underactive too, if you feel like you don't want to do shit, you don't want to just like I'm not saying like sometimes with like it's good to rest when it comes to with restoring our energy. But if you don't want to do shit and if you're feeling kind of lazy, that's like a key indicator to really just like someone's, or even your Earth Star chakra is kind of like underactive. So it's like you don't want to do nothing, you want to kick your feet up. And I experienced this before too, because there are days where it's just like, man, I don't want to do shit. But sometimes too, you gotta, sometimes as well, you gotta at least do something, get up and walk around, get something to eat, or, walk your dogs or help your parents or your family, whatever too. And what's up, Ron? We see what you guys say too. He says I took my socks off to it. Yeah, hey, that's good too, man. And however that helps you to support your Earth Star chakras, man. That's powerful, man. So, Cecily, if you want to add anything to that before I, go, I might just share a few things with this presentation, but you.
Oh yeah, keep going. This is wonderful because you're the certified hippie. And I'm learn right
Well,
now. I'm learning right now because to tell you all the truth out there, I'm not the biggest expert when it comes to the chakras, but I know that Jay really knows his stuff. So I'm learning right now. And what would you suggest to set? Well, first of all, I like how it says the energy connects with our ancestors because I'm all about ancestor veneration. I
yes,
think that is such a powerful and important thing that we can do. Even if you're adopted and you don't know your biological family lineage, they know you. So don't feel like you can't connect with your ancestors just because you don't know them. And just
right.
everybody should because they're there for us, whether you know it or not. And so that's a beautiful. But what are your suggestions? Let's say this chakra is like kind of, I don't know, overstimulated or like it says overactive. Like what would you suggest, Jay, for somebody who's having issues with this chakra and it's not balanced and they're feeling lousy?
Well, like just like take finding ways to really just being grounded and just really relaxing. So it's kind of like it says in the presentation, just being grounded. But people wonder like, how can I be grounded? So basically, it's just like for anyone who's listening, just really taking the time for yourself to really just find a place where you can really just be at ease and really just feel relaxed, where you feel like an anchor, like a tree, basically. So it's kind of like like being still, or even like there's like a yoga pose called mountain pose that can really help to really just balancing your earth star chakra. And just basically it's just standing there too, basically. But this, mountain pose too, and especially in the Sanskrit as well, when it comes to with these asana practice, when it comes to yoga, it can really help to not only support, all of your chakras, but also to specifically to help you to ground and to support your earth star chakra. So
Mm,
basically, to answer your question, for anyone who has a similar question, is to really just find ways to really just, being grounded and relaxed too. So it's kind of like, finding your, like say your center, basically, like they say in martial arts as well, and other forms of practices as well, that helps you to learn more about yourself and to really just strengthen the mind and body and emotions and all that too. So, and just
mm,
doing that, even the most simplest thing, just taking the time for yourself to really just taking a deep breath in, taking an inhale, and then just taking the exhale out with the mouth or the nose, that can help you to really just ground your energy too, and really just if you feel
beautiful.
like at work, if it's like, oh, things are hectic and you just don't have that energy to just do anything, or if it's just like you just can't be still, just really taking a time for yourself to really just finding ways to relax in your body, and especially when it comes to with your earth star chakra, if you feel kind of restless within your feet, just taking the time for yourself to really just relax in your feet as well. if that makes sense to anyone who's listening.
Mm, that's beautiful, and thanks for
Yeah.
sharing that. And I hope that's helpful. It helps me because I took a deep breath and I instantly felt relaxed. I was like, I felt just a calm come over me. That's just like breath work
Oh,
is so important. I feel like how many people in the comments out there watching, just let me know how how good has breath work been to you if you've done it? Because for me,
mm,
I mean, just think about a woman in labor. When you're pregnant and you go into labor, they tell you to breathe. And so as long as you can get that breathing under control as you're birthing your baby, you're starting to relax your body, you feel more control over yourself as to, compared to just like freaking out, like breathing all hard, you lost control, your body's kind of freaking out. But when we can have some controlled like breathing, it
mhm.
kind of the breath work really like tells your body like, okay, you know what, we are in control, we can relax. So that's beautiful, and I think that's awesome. And like like I said,
Mm.
I just took some. Yeah, there you go. Keeps me
Yeah,
alive. Breathing.
beautiful,
There you
bro.
go. There
Shout
you
out to
go.
you, man.
That's one. Now, there you go, Ron. That's one excellent reason why we should breathe to keep you alive. See how important it is?
Hmm.
So, yeah, breath work is amazing, and walking around barefoot is amazing. I prefer to be barefoot as much as I can. I don't like shoes that much. And, like,
Wow.
that's why I like the summer so much because I can have some sandals, kick my sandals off, walk through the grass, walk through the sand.
Right.
So, yeah, this was awesome. Thanks for sharing that, Jay. That's some valuable
Oh, you're
info.
welcome. And I probably need to do this too because, obviously, in where I am, walking barefoot is kind of lethal. But if I ever get a chance to do so, especially at a nice beach or forest, I'm taking my shoes off and I'm just walking barefoot.
Oh,
Honestly,
yeah.
I'll be in a heartbeat. But like in the concrete jungles, like in rural cities, and that kind of be dangerous because chemicals out there and everything else that affect your health
Crack
too.
needles.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
oh, it's crazy.
Definitely be smart with it. Be smart with what you're
It's
breathing
crazy,
in and
man.
where you're walking barefoot. We're not telling you to go do anything that's going to get you hurt, but
Exactly.
just, even if you, so if you, let's, okay, then how about this? If you can't get your feet out in nature, soak your feet in some type of like Epsom salt or some type of healing waters or something. If you can make a spiritual bath or anything with some ashe, which would be like some type of herbal bath with plants or something that you can put into a bucket and soak your feet to pull those toxins out and just give you some like liveliness and some like revamping of the body, that'd be good too. The feet
Oh
are
yeah.
our feet, people don't realize, like, it just our skin. I think some of us don't realize how much it absorbs, even with the lotions we're putting on in our feet, like when we're walking around, and it really sucks in a lot into, our system from the bottom of our feet. So,
Yeah, it's the biggest part of our bodies too, or is to say the biggest organ in our body too, the skin,
yeah,
because it absorbs just not only with like chemicals and energy, well, any form of energy too, just not from like if you put on lotion, if we, even like with everything too, like if we touch anything, like from hand sanitizers to lotion to anything, to even
right.
if we shake someone's hand, we can it absorbs through our skin. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
our skin
Oh,
is very powerful.
Gigi says when you exhale, do it slowly and makes it last longer than inhale.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
that's facts, Gigi. And
Yeah.
especially the exhale when you are just sending intention to let go. So like, the
Yes.
exhale is so powerful as the inhale too. So just really
Absolutely.
exhaling the breath out, especially, when it comes to with, practicing your own form of meditation, it's really helpful. So yeah, that's a big fact right there too, Gigi. Shout out to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, beautiful. And Ron
Welcome.
says, what did you say, Ron? Something about chocolate, I think. Ron
Eating
says
chocolate.
eating
I
chocolate
mean,
also.
That's actually a good point there, Ron, because, chocolate is, a very powerful plant too, especially like dark chocolate too, which is good for your health. And just like eating it responsibly can really just helps to really, relax us. So that's a good point there.
Yeah. I
I know
got
you,
some dark chocolate covered almonds just last night, so
yeah,
those
that's
are one
cool.
of my favorite snacks, yeah. So shout out
Definitely.
to all the chocolate lovers.
Yes, metaphorically and also to metaphorically too, in all aspects. So
In all respects.
in all respects, yes, 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 indeed. So let me share the next one that I have for you guys too. And so, like with the root chakra, you've probably seen this before too in certain spaces on social media too. And just like with our root chakras as well, in Sanskrit, it's called Mulahara, if I'm saying that correctly. So forgive me to all the yogi enthusiasts out there. Don't kill me. I'm trying to pronounce it the best way that I can because I'm American too. But basically, with our root chakras, is located near our tailbone. Especially, it's a little sensitive area. I say not sensitive, but like it's right near our butt cheeks are and near our lower back is too. And just like with the purpose of this root chakras too, especially this one is to really find our own security and stability. And that's really important too, to really, protect ourselves to really just find that security and stability within ourselves and really knowing who we are as people, especially as men and women out there who are just going through certain things and, you know, just really trying to figure it out themselves too, especially at a young age too. Like with the root chakras, it's a really powerful one to explore, to get to
Mm.
know who you are as a person. Finding that sense of security within ourselves and stability too, when it comes to with ourselves as human beings, who we are, with our DNA, with our values, and with our gifts, especially. And when it's balanced, you're secure with yourself. You know who you are. You know who you are, what you're about, what your gifts are too, and especially when it comes to like who you are as a person. And if it's like overactive, sometimes we could tend to really just be nervous. Sometimes we just worry about the most certain things too, and it's just like if you're seeing like someone who's just like nervous about everything and worry about this and that, it can really just be a key indicator when it comes to just like someone's like root chakra could be overactive. And there's nothing, it's just like not to shame anybody about it. It's just like really just like food for thought, when it comes to with that. And just like if someone's root chakra is underactive, sometimes we really just be neglectful of ourselves. We don't take care of ourselves. We, beat ourselves up in metaphorically, in ways too. And especially when it comes to with our root chakras, when it's underactive, it could it's just really sad that when it comes to people are having like an underactive root chakra, just really being neglectful of ourselves, letting people just push you around or make you just like with anything, and just really doing your best to really just balance in that, not being too overactive but not being underactive either, to really just being secure with yourself is a key point
Mm.
when it comes to the root chakra. And so Gigi's dropping some knowledge today. The root chakra is, yeah, definitely it is. It's a
Beautiful.
really powerful foundation for sure,
Beautiful.
especially for our overall health, physically, emotionally,
Mm.
mentally, spiritually, energetically. Yeah. So if you want to add anything to that, Cecily, if you want to share stories or anything like that,
Well, I
you know,
actually want to
please.
show
Yeah.
you this. I was just shuffling through my Oracle deck and a card jumped
Yeah,
out. I want to share with you all if
sure.
this resonates with any of you. And this card says bounteous. It says generously given, relationships coming together.
Ooh, people will like that. Oh, well. Hey, I think I've seen that deck before. Have you guys seen this? I know certain people that I've collabed with have this deck, similar deck. It's
Okay.
really beautiful.
So I just know that when I was shuffling, this card just jumped straight out of the deck.
Mm. What does it say? Bounceless? Bounceless?
Bounteous. Yeah, it says
Bounteous? Okay.
generously given, relationships coming together.
That's beautiful. It has like a really strong heart chakra message there too.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
So, if that resonates with anybody out there watching, I hope you all can get a clear view of that. And this is just what I wanted to share with the viewers, since I've been, like I said, I wasn't down here just twiddling my thumbs. I was just shuffling my deck, and this one just flew out. So I just wanted to share it with everybody out there. So
Cool. Thanks for sharing. And especially with that message too, for anyone who resonates with that, that's awesome. Because, Cecily, if you ever want to throw cards for people, or even if you guys want to ask us questions, you want to like a message for today, that's cool. And even if you want more than just one, that's cool too. We're all about
yeah,
just like, community and to really just have discussions and really learn something and have a good time along the way. So why not, right?
yeah.
And yeah, dancing and with, hey, that's beautiful, man. That's
Oh
what's up.
yeah. You know, that's
Definitely.
really good for the higher vibration, Ron. That's really good for any dwelling spirits in your home or just any spirits that you have, and just uplifting yourself is when we make sounds and we clap and we dance and we sing. It's so uplifting. That's why so many people in different cultures sing and they drum. Even in
Mm,
churches, they're always during their
mhm.
worship they're singing, and there's different specific tones they use, bells they ring and things. So that's beautiful, Ron. Keep that
Yeah,
up. Keeps
definitely.
you young too.
Yes, it does. And how
And that's
people
why all the young girls are out here making it clap, because they know it's keeping them young. They got to make it clap out there. You know what I'm saying?
That's true in the most metaphorically sense. That's actually true, especially with the next track, I might go deep into that topic. But yeah, definitely, man. When it comes to with dancing and energetically and metaphorically too, it's just like dancing in all cultures has a really powerful meaning, especially in African cultures with the drums and how people, our people mean Cecily's people too, and for those who are Black folks too, all over the world. We just, celebrate and connect with God with dance and music and even with plants. And same goes with other cultures too, and doing it in the most unique ways. And that's beautiful itself. I've seen it in Hispanic cultures, Asian cultures, European cultures. It's amazing. So
All
definitely, man.
right.
And what's up, Viviani? Good to see you. What's good? What's good? How are you doing? Shout out to you, and hopefully you are doing well. Saying hi to everybody too. So definitely, definitely, good to see you. Hope you're enjoying the podcast with my awesome, lovely host, Your Spirit's Hand too. So
Hi
definitely
there.
for sure. So yeah, speaking of making it, hey, the
Oh,
next chakra is
Viviani's
gonna be.
here. Oh, okay. I don't know why it came on so slow.
Oh, is it going on
For
slow
me, it
for you?
was slower. I see her there. Hi, Viviani.
Oh, okay, cool, cool. Oh, so yeah,
Okay, there she is. I follow her on social media. She has beautiful photos. Her
yeah.
cats are adorable. I think she's a cat mom, and she has beautiful like floral shots, and she's just gorgeous. So, hi there.
Yes, indeed. Yes, all about the SmackDown stuff too. So
Did
yes,
you
when I think of
see James SmackDown dance? Oh Lord, what's
Hmm.
this? What's Ron talking
Oh, this is
about?
back in the, when it comes to what the SmackDown dance, they're thinking of
And
this.
that is a promise.
Yeah, that kind of SmackDown. So
Okay, okay. I was like,
it's
wait a
it's a
minute.
whole thing people say, which is I appreciate, and that's probably like when it comes to my channel too. So basically, with the SmackDown stuff, I play clips of when it comes to just like, hey, boom, SmackDowns and all that. If people are acting a fool, I take them to SmackDown Hotel. So it's kind of like that's the Rock saying that he gets all the credit, and when he takes people to SmackDown Hotel, it's like
Shut your bitch ass up.
all credit to the Rock, all credit to the Rock, and the Undertaker, Mark Calaway, the goats. So, but
Viviani
yeah,
says,
yeah, definitely, all for fun, Rival. Yes, indeed.
yeah.
Yes, indeed. What's up, Denise? Good to see you. How are you doing? So thank you for being here too. It's always good to see new faces and familiar faces as well. So yeah, definitely. When it comes to, I'm about to show one more too, and then we can go prize for people too. So I just really want to, let me see if I could pull this up.
Okay.
There we go. If you guys could see that,
One
there we
more.
go.
Viviani says, what does she say? I love taking pictures when I go for walks in nature. Yes, I do
Beautiful.
too. I love nature too, and she also has good music taste, because I love being like in the goth scene and things like that. So I still go to the club, the goth club, and the synth. Like I like the synth and all that good stuff. So I like to get dressed up and still like to go out there with the punk rockers and stuff, when I can. So I think Viviani has this kind of similar music taste. I know she's a Cure fan too.
Cool. That's what's up. Shout out to
Yeah.
all the goths out there too, who are just doing powerful things out there. So yes, indeed. I think I probably am goth too because I like to dress in all black. But sometimes when I dress up as Blade for Halloween or something. So it's like, hey,
Yeah,
it is
you.
what
Oh,
it
I
is.
love it. I love
Yeah.
when Jay dresses up like Blade during Halloween. He gets so into character. People actually think he's Wesley Snipes, and they actually think they're
I don't
like,
know about Wesley. He's the GOAT. He made that character iconic, but I'm just like a variation. So he said there's
yeah,
not
they think
only
he's
one. There's probably more. I'm one of them.
you're. It's like the Spider Verse. You're Blade in our universe, in our Blade verse or whatever.
Hey, that's beautiful. That's a good thing that you mentioned that, Viviani, because a lot of artists wear black too. Like Freddie Mercury, Michael Jackson, Janet Jackson. A
Exactly.
lot of people too who are artistic, Sting especially. They really wear a lot of black all the time too, especially in their outfits. So that's something you probably know this already. But like when it comes to like with wearing black, I mean, I wear it all the time just because it's like, it's comfortable. I like wearing the other colors too, like mix it up like red or orange or blue and all that. But
Yeah.
mostly black too is just like my staple color too.
I
And
love
white, of course, too.
yeah, I love it too. Some days I like feeling other I like to wear red. I like to have little pops of red and sometimes yellow, but I mostly love wearing black. It's just beautiful and it's to me it's like I know some people associate black or dark colors with bad things sometimes or negative things, but for me it's a total opposite. It's more like it's a protection, just like certain crystals that black crystals or black stones that are for protection and absorbing negativity and like shielding you from issues. I feel like that when I wear black, it's like the same effect. It's like almost feels like I'm protecting myself. It's a really sexy color, especially lace and things, so it's just like really beautiful. So yeah, it goes with everything. It's a
Hmm.
beautiful color and it's has
Universal.
a good spiritual meaning behind it as well.
Yeah, and like Denise said, and shout out to you, Denise. Black is the color of colors. So yeah,
Yeah.
yes, indeed.
Mhm.
Shout out to you for saying that. That's facts. That's facts.
Absolutely.
And red is a elegant color too. So when it
Yeah.
comes to black or red too, and red is a beautiful color as well. And elegant. Yeah, like definitely like a shield
Yeah, it
too.
is.
Oh,
And when it comes to red, red is an attraction color. A lot of
mm.
here's a little witchy tip for you all out there.
Oh, nice.
When I do any type of money work or when I want to attract in say clients or anything when I need to bring some cash in or money, instead of using a green candle, which everyone's like, oh, green for money, I use red. And it's because red is a color of attraction. And so that is
Mm.
more like a money magnet. It's like attracting what you want to you more. So yes, green's good for money, but red, try red. If you any of you practice any type of magical practice or you just want to burn a candle,
I'll
even if
have
you're
to
doing like
remember
a
that.
novena, you do try red, and I guarantee you you'll get way more bang behind that. It'll draw it in. It's like I'm gonna say it again, it's an attraction color. It's really like juicy, succulent attraction. Red. It's out there. So it's gonna do the same thing in your magical practice.
Yeah, I did not know that. I'm gonna try that too. Add a little red
Yeah.
wallet too. So
Yeah.
yeah, I just learned something. So beautiful, beautiful. And red is my favorite color, power, passion.
So there you
Definitely,
go.
definitely, for sure, for
Yeah,
sure.
exactly. So it wear that red. It's a lot of people say like it's a bold color or like, oh, you're brave to wear it. Some women will wear red lipstick and you'll really stand out and it just you definitely stand out and you attract more than just elevator eyes from men or women. You attract a lot more to yourself. So yeah.
Definitely. Oh, for sure. That is beautiful. And especially when it comes to what I'm about to share right now, when it comes to the sacral chakra, or in Sanskrit too, I'm gonna try to pronounce it, Hana. So basically, I don't know if I'll try to say it in Sanskrit, but I'll just say it in English terms too. With the sacral chakra, it's a really powerful one too, and very, when it comes to with the sacral chakras, it's a powerful one, a very, like a liberating one too, but also a very sensitive one too. And I'll explain more right now, especially when it comes to where it's located. We're near our reproductive areas. So when it comes to with men and women, with our reproductive areas too, with our creative and sexual energy, that's like where like mostly our sacral chakra is at, when it energetically, and it really helps connect with our creative energy. And really just, when it comes to with that and connecting with our sacral chakra is to really connecting with our creative energies to really just, enjoy life basically in every aspect, and especially learn about yourself too as a sexual being when it comes to just really, especially at an age that you're growing up to, saying that respectfully, of course, too, for anyone who's listening. So it's kind of like, connecting with your sacral chakra and really doing that responsibly and in a fun way too, to really just connecting with your creative energy, seeing, exploring your sexuality too in a really healthy way, of course. And when you just find ways to balance that, you really have this kind of like healthy and creative expression, when it comes to having fun and to really just, creating ideas too. And especially you've seen this before with musicians and with artists and with entertainers too, their sacral chakras is over 9,000. You probably seen this, like with figures like Michael Jackson or Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, or The Undertaker, or, Freddie Mercury, and, any icon out there too. I'm naming celebrities, but just really I'm trying to make it like a teaching point here too when it comes to with our sacral chakras, and just like when it comes to with that, even just like when it comes to with balancing that and to really just finding ways to really express our creative energy in the most creative ways too, and to really just learn ourselves too as human beings too, not just creatively but sexually as well. And sometimes
Mhm.
too, to really just look out for it and brace yourself. I'm about to go pretty crazy. So when I'm about to play a clip too, I'm just to express what I'm about to say too. So brace yourself. It's gonna sound like this.
Sound like a porno star.
So brace yourselves. So when it's overactive, sometimes we do like the most compulsive things too, especially if you ever seen someone just, partying all the time, or just like having sex a lot too, or just like with anything too, anything that's like compulsive and to the extreme, when it's overactive, like sniffing seats or something, or just drinking too
Seed
much beer,
sniffers.
seat sniffers. Yeah, it's just, I'm just gonna go out there. We're gonna go all in since we're all adults in here. But something to really just keep in mind, especially when it comes to if you like even within yourselves, or if it's just noticing that with other people too. If it's like, oh my gosh, she really likes to, do this a lot too when it comes to with the compulsive behaviors. And it's something not to just judge them about, it's something to really just be aware. But also too, when it comes to with things like if the sacral chakra being underactive, but that like a desire and passion, not just like sexually, but also like in life in general, just like lack of desire and passion. There's probably many reasons to that too. People probably going through a lot of difficult things. They went through certain things from people who disrespect them or violate them too. And that's, my heart goes out to people who went through those kind of unfortunate things too, because it's like, when they go through that stuff, it really just throws our energy off too, especially for our sacral chakras. So I'm not a therapist whatsoever, and I'm just staying in my lane of expertise. But
Right.
like when it comes to with our sacral chakras, and something to really just be aware of too, for anyone who is listening and watching this live and watching a replay, it's just like, when it comes to balancing that, just really finding ways to really just have fun in the most healthiest ways, and doing it responsibly too, to where you're not just doing the most, craziest stuff too when it comes to compulsive behaviors and actions, because, there's a lot of that too, especially like if you're on social media a lot, that could really be like a older active, place too, to making your sacral chakra like overactive. And when it's kind of like you don't want to just do anything, that can really just be a key indicator to really just, that your sacral chakras is kind of like underactive.
Mhm.
So it's kind of like
Wow.
figuring out how to really just, bring some more fun in your life, even if it's just like the most simplest thing. It doesn't have to be like anything like special. It could be just like, oh, maybe I can just read a book or just watch your favorite television show. That's a way to good support your sacred chakras, even if it's something from your childhood or from something that you like recently. So wherever that,
Mhm.
helps you to really just enjoy life and to really have fun and to really just learn about yourself sexually in a really healthy and powerful way as adults. Just really putting it out there as adults. Just
I
really
think
doing
it's
that.
good. I think it's good to have some kind of exercise, some to reassure yourself that you're in control of yourself and
Right,
that you
right.
can have some self-control, especially when it comes to if it's overactive with the sexuality. Like if you find yourself like hyper fixating on something and you kind of don't feel the best about it or you feel exhausted from it.
Yeah. Oh, wait, did we lose her? Oh no. I hope she comes back. If not, I'll just have to bring her back in here. Hopefully it's not my connection, is it? Oh no. Oh shoot. You still there, Cecily? Oh shoot. Is it? Can you guys still hear me though? In the chat? Feel free to let me know. Just want to make it clear. Oh, there we are. You still there? You there, Cecily? Okay. Oh, you guys can still hear me? Okay, thanks. Appreciate it. Can you still hear me, Cecily? Let's see if I could. Not sure what's going on, but let me see if I could do this. So, oh my goodness. So sorry about that, guys. I know I'll bring Cecily back. Well, let me see if
Oh,
it'll work.
can you see me?
Yeah, what happened? Is it a connection?
Okay. Yeah, it's a connection, and I was like, okay, let me turn. I had it upright to try to fix it. It's the connection. Sorry, guys. Sheesh.
No
I'm
worries.
like,
You want
oh,
to?
oh no, what happened?
That happens sometimes when we go live. Our connection
Yeah,
probably.
sorry. But
Yeah,
what
right.
I was
It's okay.
saying, okay, what I was saying is having some. Oh, my hand's itching. If you guys didn't know that when your hand itches, money's coming. Now you know. So just claim it like this when it starts itching. But
Mm,
what I was gonna say is having some self control. So and realization with yourself and your patterns. So if you're, especially when it comes to sexuality, I would say if you're doing something and it feels like exhausting or you're like, oh, I'm gonna keep doing it because it's almost like you get like overtaken. I don't want to use the word possessed, but you get the hunger for it overtakes you what you really want to do when it comes to certain things, and it's really healthy for you to get to the root of the problem, like why, for example, if it's this chakra, why is this overactive in me, why am I having this compulsive behavior, and then like I think like stepping back and regaining your control and just saying, okay, you know what, I am able to stop doing that. I should not be exhausted. This should be something that's fun and healthy for me, and I should feel good about it. So you know what, I'm gonna have some self-control. I'm gonna step back and I'm not gonna do that today. And I feel like when we regain our power and get that self control, that it's like a reset. So I think that would be something to help if you're overactive when it comes to the chakra.
yeah, exactly. And especially when it comes to it, that kind of discipline too. And especially like a sexual discipline, and not just say like to really just abstain, unless you choose to do so for the
Oh no,
healthiest
yeah,
reason.
I'm just
Oh,
saying find some type of. I think sometimes we need reassurance, even if you need to do more. You need to you need to know that it's okay for me to explore in a healthy way, an appropriate healthy way to explore the things that if it's underactive, it says lack of desire and passion. You need to find a healthy way to just trust yourself and say it's okay for me to explore and open this site up, and I can find something else that I like, and I like that, and don't feel ashamed about what you like. So if it's
right.
underactive, you should just be like, hey, you know what, I need to find something that helps me have more passion and that makes me feel better. So just having that self, for sure, the reassurance with yourself, I think, and like the self-control can really like balance you out and make you have a good, like a healthy like sexual life.
Exactly, and really doing it for the healthiest reasons too. So, like with adults too, men and women, specifically, however you want to identify yourself too, just find those kind of like healthy outlets to really, balancing your sacral chakras, not just learning more about yourself sexually and connect with people who really just feel the same way as you do, but also to really just enjoy life as well, especially when it comes to just really having some fun in your life as well, even if it's just like the most simplest thing, from just reading a
Right.
book to just kissing your spouse on the cheek or cuddling, or I'm just putting those examples out there for any adults who is listening. So just really something to keep in mind and to really just, as a reference to in this podcast, for people to just listen to and to just watch. I might even do a separate video on it too.
Yeah, I
I
think
might
so,
even
you
put it on
should.
my website just to,
Hmm.
if I go more, deep into it, just when I get the motivation to do so. So
Yeah.
let's see with that, and I might just stop here too because this presentation is really long. I cover like all the 9 chakras, including everything else. So I'll just stop right here too. So
One
yeah,
more thing when it comes to that chakra, I just was shuffling through my deck
yeah,
again, and I
right.
just want to share these 3 cards I got when it comes to this chakra and what we just talked about with the connectivity. And these are the cards I got. I got Let It Rain.
Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, that's a cool picture.
This
Where'd you
card
get that?
says this card says allowing what is, trust. Now that sounds like it has a lot to do with what we're just talking about.
Yeah, especially with her. I mean, is that like a fairy
Inevitably.
or an angel? I don't know who that is.
She's
That's
just
cool.
it's just a woman lying down in water.
Look like
And
a fairy angel or something. That's cool.
yeah.
What deck is that?
This is from my Oracle deck, the Healing Waters Oracle deck by Rebecca Campbell.
Healing Waters. I have to get that. I'm gonna have to get that for my
So
birthday.
the other card I got in regards to that is this card that says Metamorphosis, embrace transformation, things are now different. So that goes along with that
Mm,
chakra as well, like we're just talking about when it comes to sexuality and just balancing that chakra.
yeah, and Gigi wants to know the name of that deck again. Just if you want to
Oh,
share it for
this
people who
deck,
want to.
this is my favorite, one of my favorites. This is called the Healing Waters Oracle deck. It's by Rebecca Campbell. She has beautiful artwork and just a beautiful deck. And I do things with water a lot. I do water magic, so it's perfect. And the third card I got is a card that says The Mist, trust your inner compass, be led from within. So this also goes along
Mm,
with what we're saying for that chakra when it comes to your sexuality and just having that self-control, and then also being able to just be comfortable with yourself and find what you're passionate about. So these are the 3 cards that just, when I was shuffling, Let It Rain.
I love that image. That's cool.
Thank
It's
you.
like
Yeah.
healing and it's spiritual. I love that shit. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Metaphorically speaking.
Metamorphosis.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And that one says embrace transformation. Things are now different. And then I got The Mist. Trust your inner compass. Be led from within.
Beautiful. That's awesome.
So
So
that's
hopefully
just what
that
I
answered
got.
your question, Gigi, when it comes to that deck too. And if I could find a link to that deck, I'll post it in the description of this podcast. So if you guys ever want to get it for yourself, I'll make sure to do that so people have references to things that they saw and like and all that good stuff too. So
Yeah.
yeah, I got you. I got you.
Yeah. So when it comes to that, that's what I got. That just, when you, like I said, if you see me going forward, that's because something's jumping out. It's like that's something jumping out of the deck, and I'm just leaning forward to pick it right up.
Yeah, I'm shuffling. I just pulled out 2 cards and I'm just gonna pull out one more too when it comes to
Okay.
sacral chakra since we're sharing. And so
Okay.
yeah, like when it comes to with this message right here, it's all about light, if you could see it, and just like really just being gentle with yourself, especially
Mm,
with your sacral chakras too, and especially with any of the chakras too, with your heart chakra specifically, because you can see right here too, the heart symbol right there represents
beautiful.
our heart chakras, which is basically with our emotions and how we feel about ourselves and our environment and other people, especially, and also too with the orange too. They really, with color therapy, for anyone who's interested in that, it really connects with the sacral chakra. And just like really just being gentle with ourselves and really just being light within ourselves too, to really just doing that in the most powerful ways, literally and metaphorically too. So when it comes to being, gentle with ourselves, especially within our creative energy, and that can really just be helpful. And especially when it comes to with reduction and just like taking the time for ourselves to really just you know, be like take it easy and to really just reduce anything that's really making us feel heavy. So it's kind of like a way for us to just really doing like that kind of like work and really just, reducing that kind of like heavy feelings too if we're going through certain things and really just doing that in the most creative ways as well when it comes to with for our sacral chakras and for our overall chakras, especially when it comes to just reducing those kind of feelings too, just really taking the time for yourself to really just, if you need to just like say if you're an energy practitioner and you want to just like do some waving kind of like motions and really just being attuned and to really just visualize to really just clean out your aura and just really reducing those heavy feelings, getting that away from your energetic aura. That's beautiful. Or just like with anything that can help you to really make you feel at ease and not just less heavy. That makes sense to anyone who's listening. And to also too with the last message is to really seeing the beauty within ourselves too and within our environment and especially with other people too. So like when it comes to beauty and beauty, like they say in the old sayings too and certain all cultures too, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And so like when it comes to with beauty and how you want to express that with yourself and with other people that you care about. It could be with your friends, it could be with your lovers, it could be with your colleagues, however you want to call it too. And especially within our environment, with our pets, with the birds, the trees, the water, the elements, and just really showing beauty towards, in every aspect of our lives, especially within ourselves too. And really doing that creatively when it comes to with our sacral chakras. And that can really just help to balance that as well when it comes to with expressing our creative energies to really just showing beauty and appreciation to every aspect that's beautiful within ourselves and other people and in our environment too. So
Beautiful.
yeah, definitely. Thank you, Gigi. Shout out to you and to anyone who's listening too. Especially during Mondays too. I know Mondays aren't our most favorite days. Hey, if you make the best of it, that's cool. So yeah, so if you guys have any like questions, if you want like a message from Cecily or myself, feel free to ask us. Or Cecily, if you got anything you want to share too, you're more than welcome to do that. Because I'm good right now, and so I'm just going with the flow.
Yeah, me
That's a
too.
hard.
No, yeah. Um, I have another card out of another deck, which is my African Goddess Rising deck, and I
Oh,
got the
I like that
I
one.
got the Mami Wata, and it says
Whoa,
naked,
that's a beautiful image.
and
Yo, that's
she's a
deep.
water spirit, and water's obviously her her element.
Oh,
She's
for
an
sure.
ancient mermaid goddess. She influences emotions and gifts with her flowers and clairvoyance and her healing powers. This is all about being emotionally naked and vulnerable. And that, when it comes to that, would just be letting your true self to shine through. When we're emotionally naked and vulnerable, we're just being our raw true selves. And this is really resonating with me. I wonder if this is personal for me because I've learned here, especially when it comes with other people, and this all goes back to energy. Sometimes when other people hurt our feelings or find ways to pick at you or get you in a certain way, it's to build you up. It's showing their own ignorance, but you are being open.
Oh no. Oh, I hope it didn't the connection dropped again. Hopefully she'll come back and share more.
Hello? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm saying hello. When you're being emotionally naked and vulnerable, you you could you may feel weak or it may be empowering for you, but you're not weak, and I hope you feel empowered. because vulnerability is a beautiful state to be in. Being emotionally naked and truthful really opens you up, opens your heart up and your emotions. And you know what? I know we don't like hearing getting our feelings hurt is okay. It's not okay for people to be mean to you, but really feeling is what's good for you. So just really putting yourself out there, trusting yourself, and being loving to everybody. And sometimes you may get hurt, but you got to be like water, the element of water, and you've got to go with the flow. And just like the water moves, it removes. So let those feelings flow, remove what needs to be removed. So this one's resonating with me when it comes to me dealing with certain people. So if this resonates with you, I hope, you can take that and take this to heart and really sit with it.
Beautiful. And like to answer your question, Gigi, just like when it comes to getting notified for my shows, feel free to like hit all the notification bell on top, so that way you'll get notified for every time I go live or post a video. Because I know with YouTube sometimes it's like it's weird, it updates all the time, and sometimes people don't get notifications. So for anyone who is listening, and if you guys missed my shows for any kind of reason because you didn't get notified, just really making sure that you hit the all the notification bell, all notifications, so that way you'll get notified to the things that I'm doing for this channel, podcasts and videos and
Yeah.
updates too, just for reference. And also too, I'll definitely will share the links to you know the decks that we are sharing too. So Cecily, if you want to just at any time share the links to the decks too, like towards me too, and I'll definitely will send it to your way too,
Okay.
Gigi. Just
Yeah.
because I have Gigi's information, so I'll send it to her right away when I get a chance. So I
Oh,
got you,
sorry.
Gigi.
I had to sneeze off cam. Is anybody else here in the chat experience? I know that it doesn't feel like springtime out there, but spring is happening, and my allergies are starting to.
Ooh, you want to talk about spring right now? Hold on. I got something for that. Oh, hold on. Let me see if I can put it on this. Oh, wait. Oh, hold up. There we go. Spring. So, yeah, I know
Mm,
like when it comes to like with spring, and if you guys want to talk about that, spring is all about new beginnings, rebirth, renewal. But sometimes too, like, when it comes to this allergies, I know that's kind of like, oh, dang, I'm having allergies, but it's like a way for our bodies to just like get rid of unwanted energy, like sneezing and all that. So if you really just break it down, like scientifically and metaphorically too, it's kind of like with spring is a way for us to, to cleanse and to really just awaken, new beginnings, renewing ourselves, especially when it
yeah.
comes to for our overall energy. So like, how you guys, see flowers bloom, and especially after all the rain, and, especially from winter with, winter helps us to ground and to really just, ground our energy. But when it comes to with spring, especially I know certain parts of the world are have different, seasons, cycles too, but like when it's spring in your area too, for those who are watching all over the globe, just really keeping that to heart and to mind too when it comes to with birth and hope and new beginnings and rebirth and all that too, especially when it comes to like if you're cleansing your energy, or if you're like on like a cleanse for your body too, just renewing yourself too, metaphorically and
Mm,
literally too. So like when it comes to a spring, it's a beautiful opportunity to really just cleanse, like cleansing too. So
yeah, it's
definitely,
beautiful. Yeah.
for sure. Just to keep in mind, but also to let me see if I could go back to water, since that's your favorite element too, since you're the water queen out there. Shout out to all the water people out there too, including
Hmm.
Aquaman if you're listening. So, I know on this probably my nerdy side's coming out. But like, when it comes to with water, and especially, like in like Bruce Lee says too, like in his videos and in his teachings, when it comes to Taoism and his teachings as well from his culture, his background in from China too. Just like water's free flowing, it's always just moving and flowing. Just be formless and shapeless like water, basically, like Bruce Lee says.
Right.
So like,
Hmm.
the GOAT, Bruce Lee, one of my favorite people in the world,
Mine
because
too.
he's way before before our generation, but just watching old clips of him in movies, I was like, oh, this guy is badass. So just really listen to his philosophies, and especially from Taoism too, that he learned from his martial arts teachers, and especially within his own martial art backgrounds too, and Jeet Kune Do. It's like when it comes to water, and feel free to correct me if I got anything wrong too, for any martial arts enthusiasts out there who practice Jeet Kune Do or any form of martial arts too that's connected to Chinese culture. So when it comes to with that, water is very free flowing. It's very expressive. It fills us up with new energy. It helps us to release. It helps us to restore. It's so beautiful. And Cecily, I'll just leave it to you when it comes to the water, because I know that's your whole thing too when it comes to with water. If you want to just explain more.
Oh yeah, with my connection with water, it goes deeper down to our roots. When it comes to just our ancestors, and most of us know, but for those of you that don't know about the slave trade and the diaspora, when the Africans were taken from across the water and brought here in ships, it was a treacherous, horrific trip from Africa here. Um,
Mm.
it was horrible. But before that happened, in many different parts of Africa, they had water deities that they worshipped, gods and goddesses that were of the water, that were venerated. We still have now them practicing their culture with Orisha, Mamiwata, and other things like that. And then other Hispanic cultures are doing it too.
Mm.
But back when that happened, there's so many different stories and things you'll have to research, because I don't think we have the time to talk about it, but it would go on. So
Oh yeah, it'll be
there's
like a
tons of
marathon.
stories. Yeah. So there's even
Right.
so from the deities that are in that water to our ancestors that are in that water, the ones that decided to jump to take their lives, the ones that were pushed over like nothing but cargo, just to be taken, so that when the ship came back home they could get credit for the loss, like that those weren't, like they weren't living people. Those are our people that went down into the ocean, and their spirits are very much alive still there. And water is, I mean, there's all kind of studies that shows just going to be near water, how healing that is. We use water to drink. We are in water, amniotic fluid in our mother's womb. Her water breaks and we are born, just like Yemaya's water broke. um if you don't know about her, look her up. But we drink water. We have to have water. There's so many things that we need water for. uh and like
Mm.
he said, even speaking about Bruce Lee, about being like water,
Shout
like
out to Bruce Lee and his
yeah,
family. Yeah.
it's so important. So, and then there's other cultures and other civilizations where they have water deities and things, and water priestesses and water bearers and things that would tend to the waters. And then look how important it is too in these other countries where they don't even have clean water. So it's just a beautiful element, and it's really important. And I use a lot of that in my spiritual practice in worship. So yeah, it's cleansing. You shower, you take a bath. It's Water is such a necessity and a beautiful privilege to us, and I'm thankful for it.
Yeah, and like how it really supports our energy too. And it's just powerful, being by, if you're going to the ocean or a lake, or if you're just having like, a glass of water, or just like taking a shower too. Like water is one of the most important elements ever,
Mm-hmm.
just like when it comes to and how other cultures celebrate when it comes to with, appreciating the water deities too. Even in certain areas too, that's water is not as just like fluent there too, which is unfortunate, because everybody should have like clean access to water wherever all over the globe, but it's unfortunate that's not that way too in
Yeah.
this world. And just like when we take the time to really just, appreciate water too, and especially in other cultures too. If you, however you want to express that too in your culture, that's beautiful when it comes to,
Hmm.
but just, appreciating water too. If you're Native American, if you're Hispanic, if you're, any form of African this ancestry too, or European ancestry too, just really, celebrating water, especially when it comes to with the water deities. I know the only ones that I know is like Poseidon in Greek mythology, because I'm a Greek mythology fan. I watched a lot of Hercules back in the '90s too, so that's why I know a lot about that. That kind of really got me into these occultic spiritual modalities too, when it comes to with that, and just like when it comes to with water too, and other elements too, like with air and earth and fire especially, just really, taking the time for ourselves to really just appreciating water too, metaphorically and literally too. So just really
Right.
want to, express that. And it's cleansing, it's powerful, it's free flowing, it represents so many things for so many people. And it can really just be beautiful. So yeah. And powerful too at the same time. So I
Yeah.
just wanted to share that. Yeah.
Yeah, Jay.
Ooh,
Well, with that being said,
yeah.
I I'm I'm thankful that you had me on the show again.
Yeah, of course.
And
Anytime.
yeah, I can't wait till the next one.
Oh,
The
for
next
sure.
one, yeah. But yeah, I'm thankful that you had me on here again. Thankful for all of our viewers who tuned in.
Of course.
And
Shout out to all the
please,
people out here.
yeah,
Mom
please
and
continue
everybody.
to support. It means a lot to both of us.
For sure, for sure. And
Um,
especially too. I'm sorry, you gonna say something?
oh, you can go ahead.
No, I was gonna say to like all the information that we just shared too, like with the presentations that I shared with you guys too. If you guys ever want like a copy for yourself, just for like a fun reference, feel free to check out my Patreon, which is linked to my links in the description below. If you guys want to check out Cecily's channels too, her Instagram and her YouTube, which is on the title of this podcast. But if you want to check out her Instagram too, it's linked in the description below. But if you also want to check out the decks that we just shared too, I'll make sure to post all that as well when I get a chance to do so. So if you're watching a replay, if you're like, oh, I like this decks that they're using and presentations and all that, you want to learn more about it, I'll definitely make sure to, post that in the description below. So if you guys ever want to, have it as a fun reference and to really just share with your family and friends too, especially for those who want to go on that kind of powerful healing journey too, when it comes to for your energetic body, for your overall health, and so much more. So, yeah. So, definitely, you're welcome. Yes, definitely for sure. You're welcome,
Oh,
Gigi. And it's good
thank
to
you,
speak from you.
Gigi. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was nice to meet you. Well, meet you virtually, but
Yeah.
thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you for watching and interacting, Gigi.
Yeah. Shout out to you, Gigi. And, I'll definitely have to reach out to you and just, catch up. And also to anyone else too who wants to collab like Ron or Gigi, because I know I haven't collabed with other people for so long. I just do my own thing, which is totally fine. But also too, Cecily, if you ever want to talk about different topics on your channel or mine or anyone else who's a content creator as well, if it's entertainment, if it's creativity, if it's relationships, sexuality, from a healthy and responsible, fun kind of place too, hit me up. I'll definitely make the time to do that too. So
Thank
yeah,
you.
you're welcome. So yeah, with that being said, we're about to wrap it up since it's Monday. And Cecily, if you want to talk afterwards when it comes to this podcast, feel free to stay tuned if you have to go. I totally understand. But for
Okay.
those who are just watching this still live and watching the replay, I thank you guys for watching too. And I'll definitely keep you guys updated when it comes to with my birthday stream on Saturday, because I might do something earlier on my birthday, but if I'm not doing anything, I'll just do what I do best on Saturdays, cut it up with you guys, have fun, share my favorite videos and everything else, and just really have a good time. So kind of like with the after hours shows, but more, a little bit different too. So like if you guys ever
Woo!
want to just, if I ever go live, I'll keep you updated. But if I go live on my birthday, which is on the 12th with this week, feel free to hang out, have fun, show support, however you want to do it too, which is totally cool. you don't have to get me nothing. I just like to be in your guys' company because I appreciate you guys too, to all the support that you've shown me over the last few years, especially with this old channel that I had since 2007, but just really started during pandemic. I appreciate you guys too with that. So the ups and downs and everything else, I appreciate you guys for all the support, and especially if you guys ever want to check out my awesome, lovely friend, Cecily, aka Your
Thank
Spirit's Hand
you.
too.
Thank you.
So if you guys ever want to check out her channel, her Instagram page too, what she's all about, feel free to do so. Subscribe to her too. She's new to the content space, but she's a natural at it too. So
Oh, thank
definitely
you.
show her some love too, especially for those who are watching this live and watching the replay, because her camera quality is way better than mine. Mine sounds a little all fuzzy and shit. I was like, I gotta get my camera thing right, but eventually it'll happen too. So
Yeah.
it's I know it's a 4K camera, but it's installed in my laptop, so there's nothing I can do about it. But if I could get all that fuzziness out and then boom, it'll work. So but other than that, though, I hope you guys have an awesome, beautiful rest of your day, especially weekend too, to whatever that you're doing. And I'll see you guys around in these, social media streets on YouTube, Instagram, posting content and keeping you guys updated to what I'm doing, and so much more. So you guys take care. You guys have a beautiful, 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 blessed day, and many blessings. So bye, everyone. Take care.
Bye.